Number 99. This is so all traffic should go to control. Does anyone have any emergency traffic they were holding until the start of? If so. Everybody caught that? Seems we had a little bit of trouble with the bridge. The format of the net is live trivia. You know, I said.
Sound better now. Much better.
Thank you. Sometimes doing the net is a work in progress. But as I was saying, during the question we read over there to each person who checks in, you'll have 3 answers to select from. Now, if you participated in other, this one's a little different than some of those, in that most of the questions are a bit on the unusual side. I find them a little interesting than regular trivia questions. Speaking of which, the question tonight, what we ask everybody before we keep going is, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? Now, think about that one a minute. With all the communications apps these days in real time, you can almost do that now, but still having on the fly speak any language you wanted and understand it would be a fantastic gift. Or would you rather have to talk to animals? I can't even imagine what that would, all the things that would. Anyway, that's the question. Right, then let's see who we have checked in so far. Okay, all right, let's try over here. Where was I? Oh, people have checked in so far. We have KJ6ARR, German George in Scottsdale. Checked in via email as GR2FJI, George in Kawagoe, Japan. KK7HLD, Dave in Portland. N6MOT, Little Owl in Monterey, California. KN6MIK, Mike in San Diego. Via email, KK6NXV, Timothy in Tulloch, Oregon, via the text line. N7FGP, Scott in Houston. VK2DY, Robert in Kelly Ridge, Australia. KE2BLS, Ryan in DeWittville, New York. KC2JPQ, Frank in Lancaster, New York. K8BYU, Roy in Blasdell, New York. Let me drop a second.
Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike.
And I'm sure we'll pencil you in also, but hang on a second. We also have KN6JLX and KN6JLW, Larry and Stephanie in Elk Grove, California. KU5MUX, Teresa in College Station, Texas. KF6HDJ, Britton, Pensacola. KI7ZRI, Don in Kennewick, Washington. And W2 Andy in Cheektowaga, New York. AA5JW, James in Spring, Texas. KK7AVK, Victoria in Phoenix. KO4 SPM, Jose in St. Cloud, Florida. Is there anyone else like to check in tonight? Full call sign, phonetically twice, please.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta Foxtrot Golf. Victor Alpha 3, Delta Foxtrot Golf. Kilo India 7, Lima Alpha Golf. Kilo India 7, Lima Alpha Golf.
KK7OGC, KK7OGC.
Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey 9 Delta Whiskey Hotel, Whiskey 9 Delta Whiskey Hotel. Take LEL, 4 LEL. Okay, let's hold up there. We have Jason in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, VA3DFG. We have KI7LAG, Patrick in Beaverton, Oregon. Welcome back. KK7OPC, Fred in Reno. And WDAPIC, Bob in Sylvania, Ohio. W9DW, David, Owensboro, Kentucky. And KQ4LAL, Mari in Mari, Florida. And the question of the night, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? Almost forgot the fluently. Out to the top we go, JR2FTI, George in Calagoy, Japan. Good night, George.
Well, howdy there, Alex. Sorry for the last time that I wasn't able to check in. It's always a timing problem, you know, the time difference. So that's a good question. If I could speak all the languages here on earth, that would make me rich. It would be nice, but then that's not the excitement. The excitement is being able to talk to the animals and listen to animals. The real truth, what's happened on earth, what's going on, where's all the mystery hidden beneath the oceans, whatever. That would be something amazing. I just would love it. Give me this ability, and you're my God. Okay, Alex, over to you.
Well, George, I think you already speak most of the languages fluently anyway, so it's the only thing you have talking to the animals. Anyway, thanks, George. Your question is, if your ears are significantly redder than your face, A, your bag of hat is on too tight. B, you should use your amateur radio speaker instead of those crummy headphones. Or C, you should have your blood pressure. One of those is true, George.
So if I were an amateur radio guy, I mean, who really goes for it, for me it's just a little tiny utility, but nothing else. I should say maybe B, but no, this time I go with Alex. Thanks for doing it and taking your time for the East Coast Reflector. It's a very nice reflector, I like it too. I mean the West Coast Reflector too, but thanks for doing it, and everyone else who is supporting you, and all the other folks who have come in, checking in here and being part of the reflector. Thanks a lot. KR2 FTI 4173, back to net control.
Taking time out of your busy week and weekend after shooting all the videos and promos and commercials you're doing, so do appreciate it. But correct, yeah, it's if your ears are redder than your face, you should have your blood pressure checked. Yeah, you may be getting ready to blow. I'm just saying. So yeah, have it checked. Thanks, George. Dave in Portland, KK7. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? This is
KK7HLD. And as you know, I think you know, we did lose one, but we have 2 cats and 2 dogs. And my wife and I are proud members of PETA, People Eating Tasty Animals, so it'd have to be all the human languages there, I'd have to say, Alex. Thank you very much.
Got you down, Dave, and don't forget roadkill. Tim's good eating. Your question is, you're hiking in the woods and come across a cleared area under a tree. You also notice that the tree is missing some bark. You should A, lay down and relax at this place of rest that the Lord has provided for you. B, keep walking. You've stumbled upon a summer bed. Turn around quickly. The tree has been marked by the Forest Service for removal using explosives. Which of those is true?
Well, I gotta say, definitely, B. It would be a bare spot. And I gotta say, that, our man there, I'm trying to replicate some of the, mountainous country in Japan because I'm trying to grow some wasabi. So there you go. As always, thanks for being there, you and your wonderful blogger, KK7HLD.
Dave, as long as it's the real wasabi, radish, junk, be interested in. Thanks, Dave, you got it. Yeah, keep walking. You stumbled upon a bear summer bed. And don't use bells or bear bells in cougar country. I hadn't heard of these before. Apparently you use them to scare away bears, but if you're ringing those bells and you're in cougar country, you're basically ringing the dinner bell, you know. I don't mean the Madonna kind of cougars, I mean the, you know, big, ferocious house cats. Thanks, Dave. Little Al in Monterey, California, N6 MOT. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently, Little Al?
Good evening, everybody. Little Al here in Monterey. I most definitely would want to speak to animals. Can you imagine what they got to say? I love what they're thinking. Anyway, that would be it. Animals. And see what kind of question you got for me this week.
You know, I'm not sure I'd want to know what my cat had to say to me sometimes, but anyway, your question, Al, is you're walking on the beach and you notice that the shore is much further out than normal. You should A, quit using drugs, go on a grunting run. You're in California, so you understand that one. Or C, get the hell out of there. Which of those is true, Little Al?
Well, I would get the hell out of there because it seems like a tsunami is heading your way. It's pulling the water out and it's going to come back in real fast with a lot of force. I would get the hell out of there. Anyway, 7-3, thanks. You're in the net and back to you.
Yeah, we'll quit using drugs anyway, but you're correct. Yeah, if you see the shore is a lot further out than it's supposed to be, you get the heck out of there because a tidal wave or tsunami is coming. During the tidal wave that hit Thailand in 2005, some people walked down to the exposed beach to collect seashells and didn't make it back. The elephants, on the other hand, ran to higher ground right away. Well, they noticed the ocean was receding and they weren't harmed. So, smart elephants again. Thanks a lot, Mike and KN6 MIK. Mike, the ability to talk to animals or speak human languages fluently. What do you say?
Good evening, Alex. Everybody on the net. Always a pleasure, Alex. You know, as novel as it would be to speak all the different languages, don't know if I'd have much use. But I got a cat about 2 feet away from me, and I just love to spark up a conversation. Go ahead, Alex. Hit me with your question.
You got it, Mike, and your question is, you're hiking in the desert when you notice thousands of ants are sitting about. At this point, you're probably thinking maybe I should just stay home. But what does it mean when you see thousands of ants coming out of the ground suddenly? A, an earthquake to happen. B, a herd of elephants coming. Or C, the ants are swarming and you're about to be eaten alive. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Which do you think that is, Mike?
I'm going to go with A, Alpha, Alex. We'll give that a try. Always a pleasure. 10-6 on my K. Back to you, Al.
I couldn't get you to go for the elephants. Yeah, it is the other one. You would think an earthquake's about to happen. It's the ants know, and they come scurrying out of the ground before it hits, because I guess they feel the sine waves and however else that works. Thank you, Mike. Until Oregon, KK7NXV. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex. This is KK7NXV. I think I would go for speaking human languages. Yeah, back to you guys.
Gotcha. Now, with the languages, all right, Timothy, your question is, you're having a nice country when you notice a dark gray storm cloud coming your way. As it gets closer, the gray color turns into a fluorescent green. This means A, the cloud is covered for a large UFO that will be over your vehicle shortly. B, the cloud has picked up dust in the soil. Try not to breathe until it passes and replace your car's air filter as soon as possible. Or C, one hell of a hailstorm is coming your way. What do you think, Timothy?
For as much as I want to believe that there's a hailstorm coming, I'm going to go ahead with Bravo.
I used to live in Nevada, huh, Timothy? No, it's a hailstorm. The gray cloud, fluorescent green, the hill's on its way. So apparently the stones, and I've had this happen to me twice. The first time I got hit with marble-sized hail, as in my view. But I was in downtown Phoenix and managed to get out of the way in time and get under something. Second time I was going down the freeway in Mesa. No cover was near, but I saw it. I knew what it was then, so I took the exit ramp and parked underneath the overhang of a supermarket because there was no covered parking, although it didn't mind too much because they were trying to dodge tennis ball-sized hailstones. And yeah, that was a mean. Yeah, the hail, the color lights up when the sun hits it just right, and the gray of the cloud behind it makes it look fluorescent green. It's really weird looking. It's probably... Anyway, thank you, Timothy. Scott in Houston, N7, FGP. Talking to the animals or speaking all the human languages? What do you say, Scott?
Good evening, Alex, and everyone on the net. You know, I think I'd like to be like Dr. Doolittle and speak to the animals. Anyhow, back to you. Ready for a question?
Okay, I have one more situational question for you. You're out for a walk when a honeybee approaches you and butts you with its head. So you keep walking and the bee butts you again with its head. What is the bee trying to tell you? A, that it ingested honey. B, you're getting too close to my hive, turn around or I'll sting you. Or C, I like the flowers on your Hawaiian shirt, but where's the bee doing?
You're just a little broken up there, but I think the answer is probably C. Thanks for doing the net tonight. N7FGP.
Yeah, it's not the flowers in the Hawaiian shirt. It's after it's telling you you're getting too close to my hive. And I didn't realize this, but they'd rather not sting you since it kills them. So they'd rather just butt you a couple times to get you to move away. You got it, Scott. Thanks, buddy. Hopefully I can make it over there later tonight. Robert, Kelly Ridge, Australia, VK2DY. Rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently. What do you say, Robert?
Good afternoon, Alex, VK2DY. Well, given my love of travel, I would say I would never speak every human language.
Yeah, I don't know what the animals in Australia would say. That'd be interesting. They'd have their own. All right, your question is, why did so many Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters wear neckties and collars? Ever notice that? That all of them have either a necktie or a collar. Fred Flintstone, Snagglepuss. Was it A, so they wouldn't be confused with Disney cartoon characters. B, ties and collars were easier to draw than clothing. Or C, made the characters easier to animate.
That's a great question. I'm going to guess to animate. But it could be the other two as well. But let's go with that. VK2DY.
Yeah, good point. Any of those could be correct, but you got the right one. It made the character. It allowed the artist to draw the head and body. They could use the body for the same frame, and not have to redraw it. And all they had to redraw was the head, moving the head, the eyes, speaking, and all that. So, thank you, Robert. This is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. You're listening to the Saturday Night Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector, and we're going to Ryan in DeWittville, New York, K2BLS. Ryan, whether have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently. To BLS. It's okay, we'll check again later. To Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2 Q. Frank, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex, and everybody on the net. If I had my choice, I would like to speak to the animals. I'm ready for my question, and I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Frank. Your question is, justice must be tempered with mercy, otherwise it's nothing more than revenge. Is that from A, the Bible, B, the Quran, or C, the Dust and Elysian Tale?
I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm going to say A, Alpha. good week, and talk to you next week, Alex.
Hey, thank you, Frank. And although it sounds like something that should be scripture, it's from the video game Dust and Elysian Tale. They're getting better at writing video games, I guess. Thank you, Frank. Roy in Blasdell, K8, BYU. Okay, Roy, you want to be able to talk to those cats, or would you rather speak every human language fluently?
I'd rather be able to speak to the animals. That way they can tell me exactly what they want, when they want, or if they're not feeling good, all that, about everything. Yeah. What's the question tonight?
Oh, all right, Roy, if you push most of that, a little bit of scratch there, but... Did you know that the Mr. Pringles potato chip guy has a first name? Yeah, and neither did I, but he does. Is his name A, Julius, B, Jeremy, or C, Jesus?
I'm going to go with A alpha just for the heck of it.
Oh, come on, Roy, you knew that all along. Yeah, it's Julius. Julius Pringles is the Mr. Pringles potato chip. Thank you, Roy. Larry and Stephanie, Elk Grove, California, KN6JLX, KN6JLW. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language? This is going to be interesting. What do you think?
Hey, Alex, this is Larry KN6JLX along with Stephanie KN6JLW, and basically we're misanthropes, so we would go with speaking to animals. We speak chicken fluently and understand a lot of cats.
All right, got you down. Yeah, I know we're around him so much we can almost speak the language anyway. Your question, guys, is who is singer Engelbert Humperdinck, whose real name was Arnold Dorsey, named after? Engelbert Humperdinck, after was it A German composer, B, a Dutch pianist, or C, an X-rated sex act? What do you say, guys?
Hey, we're going to go with Charlie, Alex. We'll talk to you next week.
Even back then, but oh, hang on a second. My wife's got the stereo uptown. Honey, turn that down. Trying to do that. Actually, Engelbert Humperdinck was named after a German composer, if you can believe it. There was a German composer in the 19th named Engelbert Humperdinck. You see, Arnold Dorsey's career wasn't doing so well, so his roommate suggested he name himself after Engelbert Humperdinck, and it worked. Got attention anyway. Thanks, guys. Teresa, College Station X is KU5MUX. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every language fluently?
This is KU5MUX, and well, anybody who knows me pretty much knows this gives me all the languages. What's my question for the night, Alex?
Got you down, Teresa. Your question is, lucky you get the weird trivia story of the week. Which one of the following headlines was an actual news story from last week? A, the Pope spends first day undoing all of former Pope's executive order. B, police find pet raccoon holding meth pipe during traffic stop. Or C, Corporal Klinger finally discharged from Army after trans-military ban. Which of those was an actual headline, Teresa?
What's serious is I think I remember seeing something about this, but I did not, I figured it was clickbait and did not take the click, so I think it's E. Thanks for the net tonight, Alex. 73L, KE5MUX.
Yeah, when that story first aired, I thought, well, okay, I'll include that one because hardly anybody's seen it, but now it's starting to appear on all the news stations, and it is right, yeah, they found a pet raccoon holding the meth pipe when they pulled this elderly woman over for a traffic stop. I go to the police blotter here real quick. A police officer in Ohio was shot a raccoon holding a meth pipe following its owner's arrest. According to the Springfield Township Police Department, on Monday evening, Officer Austin Branham conducted a traffic stop after identifying a vehicle whose owner had an active warrant. And during the stop, the officer detained the female driver without incident, but then, took an unusual turn. When the officer returned to the suspect's vehicle, he saw a pet raccoon named Chewy sitting in the driver's seat with a meth pipe in his hands and mouth. Thankfully, Chewy was unharmed because that's the only person in the story we really care about. Thanks, Teresa. Brent in Pensacola. I was just kidding. Sort of. Brent in Pensacola, Florida, KF6HDJ. Brent, speak to the animals or humans fluently. What do you want to do?
Definitely animals, because I don't work or play well with others. And it would be kind of curious to actually hear what the bats have to say about me. Back to you, Alex, and ready for my question.
Yeah, see a lot of those. They just started to come out in Phoenix again, the Mexican bats. I was out there lowering my HF antenna the other day, and the sun was about to go down, and there they are. They attacked the top of the antenna thinking it might be an insect. When it started going down, but then they pulled up in time, so they're pretty smart. All right, your question is, which of the following rock bands has been around the longest? A, the Rolling Stones, B, Golden Earring, or C, the Grateful Dead?
Because the legend is that, Keith Richards has been alive forever and will continue to live forever. Back in KF6HDJ.
Brent, and I have to be honest with you, if I got this question, I would say the Rolling Stones also, but no, Golden Earring was formed in the Netherlands in 1961, and what's left of them is still together touring. The Rolling Stones formed in England, of course, in 1962, a year later, and the Grateful Dead, San Francisco, 1965. So there you go. Okay, thanks. Golden Earring. Don in Kennewick, Washington, KI7ZRI, a big Golden Earring fan. Don, would you rather have to talk to animals or speak every human language?
Well, hey there, Alex, and everyone on the next 99 episodes. That is fantastic. Coming from a true blue earring fan. Yeah, so I would say every human language with an emphasis on English. Give me that question.
Okay, Don, here it is. This lasted longer than the Civil War, World War I, and World War II combined. Lasted longer. A, the Spanish-American War. B, the War on Drugs. The Grateful Dead.
Go with the War on Drugs. Thanks for doing that there, Alex.
Yeah, we've been at war a long time. Hi, Don. Yeah, that's it, the War on Drugs. The War on Drugs began in June 1971 when Richard Nixon declared drug number one and increased federal funding for drug control agencies. You got it, buddy. Next up, Andy, Chickawaga, New York, W2AJR. Andy, you want the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex. This is everybody on the net. Well, I find it increasingly difficult to have an intelligent human conversation, so I'll take my shot with the animals. Thank you.
Yeah, I tend to avoid them if I can. Your question, Andy, is the oh, here we go. After the fall of the Soviet Union, newly independent Lithuania couldn't afford to send their basketball team to the Olympics. Who stepped in to cover the expenses? Was it A, the NBA, B, Apple Computer, or C, bed?
Well, the Grateful Dead's got to be an answer to one of these questions, so I'll go with back to you, Alex.
Andy, you know me too well. That's right. The Grateful Dead is the correct answer in this one. Yep, they helped fund the Lithuanian basketball team to the 1992 Olympics by donating money to the team. That's 2 points for the hippy-dippy, pot-smoking 60s anachronistic band. Good for them. Thanks. Thank you, Andy. James in Spring, Texas, AA5JW. James, want the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Well, good evening, Alex, and everybody out there on the net tonight. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey. James, good to be here on a Saturday night. I actually stayed up late enough for the net. I deserve a sticker. To the question of the night, I'm going to go with, I want to be able to speak every language. Not necessarily so I can speak to people, but I want to be able to know what's being said about me in foreign languages, just to have better situational awareness. What kind of question do you got for me tonight, Alex?
Yeah, I went to that one. I wear a MAGA hat in the Guadalupe, Arizona. That's always something I'd want to hear. Oh, maybe not. Our question, James, is this group of losers, misfits, and drug users hasn't put the Super Bowl since 1969. Who are we talking about? A, the Grateful Dead, B, the Rolling Stones, or C, the New York Jets?
Well, I mean, I'm tempted to go with Grateful Dead because, I mean, that seems to be a common thread in these last couple answer options, but I'll go with C. Why not? 7-3 and back to you, Alex. Have a great evening, and I'm enjoying the net. Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey.
And it was the New York Jets. They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969. Probably shouldn't describe them that way, but some of the people in New York may agree. Thank you, James. This is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. Going next to Victoria in Phoenix, KK7AVK. Good evening, Victoria. Would you rather have the ability to speak every human language fluently? Now, you already speak a few human languages fluently, so what's it going to be?
Good evening, Alex. This is Victoria, KK7AVK. My voice is a little lost because I recently was sick, but it's still gone. But anyway, this was a very easy...
Well, I think your cat may have pulled on your mic cable. Try it again.
Oh, sorry about that. So I was saying that definitely I would speak into animals. Ever since I watched this documentary on YouTube called The Animal Communicator, it's really good for anyone to watch. And actually the woman who started
this movement about talking to animals telepathically is called Penelope Smith, and she's in Arizona. She lives in Arizona, and she teaches classes about that. So, yep, that's my answer.
Animal communicator. I'm going to have to check it out now. Thanks, Victoria. And your question is, who was the first black man in space? Was it A, Colonel Guion Bluford, B, Captain Will Smith, or C, First Class Jimi Hendrix?
Well, let's try Alpha. Thanks, Alex. Have a great evening. KK780K, back to net.
Could get you to buy Will Smith, huh? Yeah, Colonel Guion Bluford was on the STS-8 space shuttle mission in 1983. Considered the first black man in space. Well, after Jimi Hendrix. Excuse me while I kiss Guy. Thank you, Victoria. Jose in St. Cloud, Florida, KO4 FBM. Jose, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language? KO4 FBM, Jose, or maybe Josie, I'm sorry, St. Cloud, Florida. Oh, bueno, okay, we'll try later. Jason in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, VA3DFG. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Well, I do a lot of camping and hiking, and it's usually where I go to get away from the noise. So I don't think I'd want the forest talking to me the whole time. So I'd have to go with all the languages.
Yeah, the squirrels alone would drive you crazy, and make sure you don't lay down on a bare summer bed too while you're there. So, okay, your question is the Earth and jumped in. How long would it take you to reach the other side? A, you wouldn't. You'd stop falling when you got to the middle. B, 42 minutes. C, 37 hours.
Let's go with B. Why not? And thank you both for doing the net there. Appreciate it. I look forward to it every week.
Nicely done, Jake. You weren't fooled by letting you get stuck in the middle because your inertia and speed would actually carry you out to the other side. But once you popped out the other side, you'd fall back in and come out the starting side, back and forth of shorter stops each time, and the inertia slowed you down until you finally settled at the Earth's core. It learned for me. And yep, you got 42 minutes. That's all. It would take longer, but 42 minutes from one end to the other. Got a commercial take. Anyway. Thank you, Jason Patrick in Beaverton, Oregon, KI7LAG. Hello, Patrick. Would you rather have the ability to talk or to speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex. This is Patrick, KI7LAG. I'm going to go with being able to speak to animals. I mean, being a licensed amateur radio operator, I only speak, this is the only language that's worthwhile speaking, so I'll go with speaking to animals. Go ahead with your question.
Well, if you want to speak to animals in amateur radio, just go to 80 meters. That's just kidding. Your question, Patrick, is which of these bounces the highest when dropped from an equal height? Which bounces the highest? A, a ball of rubber. B, a ball of glass. Or C, a ball of checks written by my ex-wife. What do you think? Have a good evening, Alex. KI7LAG back to net. Now, oddly enough, all of checks written by my, I guess there's no way to measure that, but it's a B, a ball of glass actually will bounce higher than a ball of rubber, something to do with the way the, or something, but I haven't tried it, but, science says. Thanks, Patrick. Fred Reno, KK7OGC. Fred, you would rather talk to the animals or speak every human language possible?
Hey, Alex and Vicky, thank you for logging. I would rather talk to the animals, but if there were a swarm of ants, I might become overwhelmed. Back to you, Alex.
Saw the Indiana Jones movie, huh? Even though it wasn't one of the better ones. Okay, Fred. The question is, how can you tell if an egg is still edible? A, give the egg to your dog. If he eats it, it's edible. If he doesn't, B, get needle and punch a small hole in the egg, put it to your nostril, up to your nostril. Or C, drop the egg into a glass of water. Which do you do, Fred?
Well, we do this often. Anyway, I'm going to go with Charlie on that one. KK7OGC, back to you, Alex.
And you are correct. You wait until if the egg is still edible, drop it into a glass of water.
Throw it away.
If it sinks, it's good. If it floats, since your dog knows better than to eat it, throw it at your nasty neighbor's house. Once again, just kidding. Bob in Sophia, Ohio, WD8PIC. Bob, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
I'm going to say every human language. I love animals. In fact, I'm not a cat lover only because I'm allergic, very highly allergic to them. I mean, super allergic, but I love dogs. And, you know, in some parts of the country, they pronounce it dogs. So that would be D-A-W-G. I'm being very silly. And for a question a long time ago about the bees, beehive and get out of there. Anyway, go with the question and I'll see what happens. No, I won't, because I'm blind.
It's okay, Bob. I think everyone can answer this one. It's a philosophical question, but nonetheless, what can be broken but is never held? Can be broken but is never held. A pardon. B, a promise. Or C, a porcupine.
I'm going to go with Bravo. I am going to go with Bravo. And I will talk to all of you later. Have a great rest of the night. I will be listening. I like to pronounce it that way. I'm going to get something to eat, but the kitchen is very close to where I am, so I will be listening. WD8PIC.
You know, I need to my ham shack. That would be a very good thing. Anyway, you're correct. Yeah, it's a what can be broken but is never held is B, a promise. A promise, yeah. I had a girlfriend who used to say, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, hunt it down and kill it. My kind of woman. Thinks so. Bob, David in Owensboro, Kentucky, W9DWH. David, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human fluently?
dogs and everyone on the net. I would rather learn to, or be able to speak every language fluently, just to help myself with my Spanish. Because I'm trying to learn it, but I'll tell you, the older you get, the harder it is to do something like that, and I don't think with it, because my family is real good friends with a Hispanic family. Now, the children are bilingual, that's no problem there, but then, talking with adults, it gets a little interesting. I have to sometimes break out the Google Translate, so back to you guys.
Well, David, you do have English down pretty well. The question is, I'm surprised that a lot of hams that don't know this, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Samuel Morse invented his namesake code because A, he entered a contest that paid $100 to anyone with the best idea on how to improve the telegraph. B, the American Navy needed a fast, reliable way to send messages between ships. Or C, he missed his wife's funeral due to slow mail delivery. Why did Mr. Morse invent his code?
I believe I have read this somewhere before at one time or another, and I believe it's Alpha. So thanks for running the net as always, Alex. See you next week. Lovely night.
Must have read it in the National Enquirer. It was actually it's C. Morse invented Morse code because he missed his funeral due to slow mail delivery, and he was in Europe at the time and didn't get the message. His wife had passed away, and so he came up with Morse code and telegraphs and everything that came after that. So, hey, thank you, David. I appreciate you being with you. Next Saturday, Maury in DeMaury, Florida. LEL, ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently. Which would it be, Maury?
Well, Alex, I'm going to say speak to animals. I'd like to get their opinions on religion and politics. Do you have a question for me?
Well, I have been told from a fact that my cat is oh yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it. Your question is, it'd be a Jeopardy style question. The answer is between 1 and 2 pounds. 1 and 2 pounds. A, how much weight does the average person gain in a month? B, how much weight can the average amateur radio operator bench press? Or C, how much insect parts does the average American ingest every year? Which is it, Marty? Well, they're trying to get us to eat bugs anyway, just straight out. Don't do it. They contain can't digest. Anyway, you're correct. Yeah, between 1 and 2 pounds of insect parts does the average American ingest every year. Preston? Fluidity. Okay, coming up next, Jason in Milwaukee, Oregon, KK7ZESH over the text line. Jason, would you rather have the ability to speak to animals or every human being fluently?
Good evening. Good to all. 73 to all also. I'm going to go with, I want to speak every human language because I think I pretty speak to a lot, if not most, animals already, honestly. Especially dogs and cats. So, yeah, I'm ready for my question, sir.
Sit down, and your question is, what was the name of Julius Caesar's son who ruled with his mother Cleopatra as the last pharaoh of Egypt? Was it A, Caesarion, B, Gludius Maximus, or C, Hunter?
Sorry, that one cracks me up. I don't want to say B, but I know that's not true. I'm going to go with A, Caesarion, because that's almost as bad. But, yeah, I think Mexico, that's hilarious. Yeah, let's go with A. Thank you for doing the math. KK7GSH.
Very good, Jason. You knew, of course, that Gludius Maximus is a Roman name and not a Egyptian name. And you're correct. That Caesarion was Julius Caesar's son who ruled with his mother Cleopatra as the last pharaoh of Egypt. And I don't know how the dots connected there, but they did somehow. Thank you, Jason. All right, we're taking more check-ins for the Cernak Trillion. That full call sign phonetically twice, please.
Kilo Delta 6 Delta Intech KD6 DIQ Todd Yucca Valley.
Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Tango X-Ray Whiskey Denver.
Hey, hold on a second. First of all, Terry in Harrogate, Tennessee, if you're back now, I still have you on the list, so we'll go ahead and call you. And you kind of dropped out. What was your call sign again, please?
Am I doing good now? I'm on an HT.
No problem. I think about half the people that check into this net are HTs. So, yeah, go ahead and give us your call sign and name again, please.
I'm Jerry, Juliet Echo, Kilo Romeo Yankee, call Kilo Alpha 0, Tango X-Ray Whiskey, K0 TSW, and Bill Echo, Bill, they're over, and we are in Denver, David Mike 79.
All right, then. Got you down, Jerry. Any other check-ins? Full call sign phonetically twice, please.
Okay, phonetically twice. I will give you mine. Kilo Alpha 0, Tango X-Ray Whiskey, a little slower so you can write. Kilo Alpha 0, Tango X-Ray Whiskey, and Kilo Uniform 0 Echo. Kilo Uniform 0 Echo. Jerry and Bill in respective call signs.
Okay, Jerry and Bill, got that time. We'll go ahead and take these. Get some more later. We have Todd in Yucca Valley, California, KD6 DIQ, Frank in Sugar Land. DXB, Jerry and Bill, K0TXW, and KU0O0, Bill in Colorado, and KF4ACB. Are you still there? Well, we'll get this to work eventually. Todd, Yucca Valley, California, KD6DIQ. Question of the night, everyone, is would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? What say you, Todd?
I want to do all the animals. Go ahead with your question, sir.
Wow, even politicians? Todd, your question is, oh, here we are. Pilots and co-pilots in the U.S. are required to A, have all their vaccinations up to date, B, eat different meals when flying, or C, abstain from having relations with flight attendants in the cockpit. How ironic. What do you say, Todd?
Could you run that by me one more time, please? Please?
Yeah, no problem. Pilots and co-pilots in the United States are required to A, have all of their vaccinations up to date, eat different meals when flying, or C, abstain from having relations with flight attendants.
I'm going to go A. Final answer. Have a terrific day, and thank you for running the net. KD6DIQ.
You know, believe it or not, there's some airlines that aren't so worried about that. All of them do, however, require, as they have to eat different meals when flying. The rule is intended to ensure they both don't get food poisoning, so someone can land the plane instead of a passenger like Ted Stryker. So, you know, it's somebody with a drinking problem trying to land the plane. But, yep, it's what they have to do, eat different meals when flying. Thank you, Todd. Frank in Sugarland, KJ5DXB. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or every human language fluently?
KJ5DXB, good evening to you, Alex, Vicky, and everybody. Oh, put me down for the animals. Back to you, sir.
Got you down for animals, Frank. Basic gunpowder is a mixture of sulfur, charcoal, and A, potassium cyanide, B, potassium nitrate, C, potassium gluconate.
Gotta watch out for that gluconate. I think I'll go with B, Bravo on that one, Alex. Thanks for the check-in, KJ5DXB. Back to you.
Yeah, if you're a reloader, you probably want to know that one. It is, yep, potassium nitrate is sulfur, charcoal, potassium nitrate make up gunpowder. Potassium gluconate is a mineral supplement, and please don't get it mixed up with potassium cyanide, you know, unless you're about to be executed. Of course, with executions these days, I'm waiting for that mistake to happen. Thank you, Frank. Hey guys, I'm fine. Jerry and Bill in Golden and Westminster, Colorado, KA0TXW and KU0E. All right, question of the night is, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? First to Jerry.
Okay. Bill's saying he wants to talk to every animal but a politician. And I am saying I would rather speak every language, as long as I could understand every language, listening to every language. But to answer the question, I would personally like to be able to speak in all languages.
except for politicians. And then also, illegal is a sick bird, and unlawful is unlawful. That's what Bill said. Sir, go ahead. He's over there on the radio on HF.
Words to live by. And you're... Okay, I'll go to you. I'll give you both a question. The question is, America is one of two countries that allow prescription drugs to be advertised on television. What's the other country? A, England, B, New Zealand, or C, Ozempica?
Are you saying, when you say, did you say Australia on the second one, or I know the UK doesn't necessarily let pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies advertise. So I'm going with the third one. I just didn't know how you said it, because I do know that the middle one there, I don't think they do allow that.
Okay, the last answer was Ozempica. I'm sure you're familiar with the country of Ozempica. You see it a lot on television. But it's England or Ozempica. What do you say, Jerry?
USL, I say over.
Okay, it's New Zealand. It's one of the two countries that allow prescription drugs to be advertised on television. I'm sure Ozempic is one of the ones that they push a lot, and as much as they're pushing someday. But thank you, Jerry. Got you down. Bill in Westminster, Colorado, KU0E. Your question is, there are more of these in Los Angeles than in all of France. A, croissants. B, judges. C,
do the last one again, packet loss. There are more of these in, you got a little packet loss going on. There are more of these in France than where? Or in Los Angeles than France, correct?
That's it. More of these in Los Angeles than in all of France. A, croissants. B, judges. C, white flags. The French are jamming me again. Did you get that?
He's going for croissants.
But not croissants. It's judges. There are more judges in Los Angeles than in all of France, because, you know, our court system, especially in LA. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you checking in. Hope to hear you next Saturday. We're taking more check-ins for the Saturday Night Trivia Net. Full call sign, phonetically twice.
I'm curious, do they even have judges in France?
Oui. More check-ins for Saturday Night Trivia. Come on now, I know it's hard to follow an act like that, but full call sign phonetically twice, please, and we'll get you a trivia question.
Juliet 5, Juliet, November, Juliet. Kilo Juliet 5, Juliet, November, Joe, Justin in Conroe. Happy to be checking in to the net. Kilo Juliet 5. Kilo Juliet 5.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Uniform. Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Uniform.
Lynn in Houston. Good evening.
Okay, then got 3 more. I knew if I waited a little bit longer, it's getting late enough I get the latecomers. Justin in Conroe, Texas, KJ5 and J&J checked in, along with Gerardo in Pasadena, Texas, KJ5 BLV, and Lynn in Houston, Texas, KI5 WW. Justin, question of the night, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
This is KJ5JNJ, and Justin in Conroe is and location. Thanks for running the net, Al. It's always good to hear you out there doing so and be part of it. I'm going to say, since I'm Spanish pretty fluently, and I think from learning that, I can say that everybody pretty much talks the same stuff. So I'm not worried about learning all the languages, so I'd rather just, find out what the pets are talking about. So there's my answer there, and go ahead, sir.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Justin, your question is, what does a Geiger counter do? A Geiger counter, is it A, it measures oxygen, and B, it measures radiation, or C, it counts Geigers?
Well, since I don't know what a Geiger is, I'm going to... It does the radiation. It counts the radiation, measures it, stuff like that.
Yes, it does. Invented by a German gentleman named Geiger. There's a lot of things on it. Here's radiation. They used to use them in the, well, they still do, but I mean, the old days, people were hunting for uranium in Arizona and Nevada and New Mexico because the government wanted it, but then turned out to be a bad idea. Thanks, Justin. Gerardo, Pasadena, Texas. By the way, this is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. You're listening to the Saturday Night Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector. Gerardo, KJ5BLV. Did you talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex. Gerardo, KJ5, Bravo, Lima, Victor. Well, I guess it would be human languages, because you just need to know what the other person's thinking, and the best way to do that is speaking to them. Okay, thank you for running the net, and ready for the question. Hopefully you can talk to me.
Okay, got you down, Gerardo, and your question is, what 1970s band is known by the two frontmen wearing long beards? A, Leonard, B, ZZ Top, or C, the...
Okay, that would be B as in Bravo, the good old boy from Texas, ZZ Top. B as in Bravo.
You would have had to give up your Texas man card if you got that one wrong. Yeah, the ZZ Top, you got it. And by the way, Marie's beard was much nicer than Donnie's. Just saying. Lynn in Houston, KI5W. Okay, which is it, Lynn? Ability to speak to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Alex, thanks for running the net. It's always entertaining. KI5WW. I'm going to stick with parcel talk. with the animals and talk with the animals, but now I can't get that silly song out of my head. So, ready for my question, sir?
Well, switch it with every girl's crazy, sharp-dressed man. That one will never leave. All right, your question is, for every person on Earth, there are A, 225 politicians, B, 1,512 lawyers, C, 1 million ants.
I'm going to go with Charlie, although some of the other answers get Charlie. Thanks for the net. WW, back to you, sir.
Not that there's much difference between the three, but yes, it's ants. There are 1 million ants for every person on Earth. So you don't come up out of the ground unless there's an earthquake. Thanks, Lynn. Alan in Lubbock, Texas, N7WZI. Welcome back, Alan. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
I'm kind of the Dr. Doolittle type, so it's animals.
You know, I'm not sure if I like the original Dr. Doolittle played by Rex Harrison on the remake with Eddie Murphy. Anyway, your question, although Eddie Murphy was much funnier, nearly all early revolvers had how many chambers in the cylinder? Early revolvers. A, 6, B, 8, C, 3.
I believe that might be 6, but I think it was more like 5, but that's, I'm not sure. But I think it's big. Revolvers now.
Yeah, it's one thing that hasn't changed much over the years. 6. Yeah, they start, and many still do. If you're not using, of course, a magazine and a semi-auto. 6 is correct. Thanks, Alan. You got it, buddy. More check-ins for the start next trivia night. Full call sign phonetically twice, please.
Alpha Charlie 4. Bravo.
You might be it tonight in Monticello, Kentucky, AC4BR. Question of the night, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Good evening, Alex. Good evening, everybody on the net. Sorry, it took me a minute to check in. I just got back to my vehicle, and I was having to wait because the repeater fell off the network and had to wait for it to ID and give the time. But anyway, good question. I can see both of them being handy, but I'm going to say I would rather be able to speak every language. I think that would be more beneficial to my line of things than time travel. I believe was the other option you said there. So, but anyway, appreciate taking the call there, and I'll turn it back to you. This AC4BR.
Yeah, thank you. But no, it's talking to animals. If you could, either way, you can let us know. Anyway, your question is, there are fully functioning gas and oil wells hidden throughout the city. gas and oils are hidden throughout the city? Is it A, Denver, B, Los Angeles, or C, Houston?
Oh, my apologies on that. Talking to animals would be kind of handy. Anyway, I'll stick with the other. That way, just speaking on it, it'll all be fine. But I'm going to say C, Charlie, for Houston, because I'm thinking of Texas oil fields.
You know, there are obviously lots of functioning gas and oil wells in the Houston area, but they don't hide them. They just have them out there in the open, like Oklahoma, where you can see them. But it's Los Angeles, oddly enough, that has all the hidden ones. Looks like a windowless office building in the Wilshire neighborhood of Los Angeles actually contains 52 wells. Apparently, they wanted to hide the fact that they're up a lot of oil. Southern California, and it's checking in. Okay, one more call. Full call sign phonetically twice, please, and we'll get you a trivia question. Okay, I believe that was Don in San Martin, California, KU6V. Is that you, Don? Okay, I'm going to ask until I hear the crickets start chirping. Anybody else want to check in? This is our next trivia net. Phone call sign phonetically twice, please.
Yeah, 60, Eddie.
KL5 X-ray, Papa. Thank you. KL5 X-ray, Papa. Would be more like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We got you down. There was someone else trying to get in there, but we'll go ahead and take you, Mark. AL5XP. Would you rather have the ability to talk to humans? Wait a minute. We already have that ability. Well, most people. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
My experience of life, that animals have had much more wisdom to speak to me than people have. That's all I can tell you. What's my question, sir?
Either that or they can talk and they're smart enough to keep their mouth shut. That's another way of looking at it, I guess. But Mark, your question is, firearms maker Smith & Wesson also sells these to police departments. Other than the guns, what do they sell to police departments? A, batons, B, bicycles, or C, donuts?
Having been a public servant for 27 years, I'd say firearms, but in my present situation, I would have to say donuts, for sure. I would be much more appreciative of a donut situation than a firearm situation.
Nothing less than donuts when you need a self-defense donut. Well, actually, it's bicycles. Yeah, they make bicycles for police departments, too. I didn't realize that, Mark. But now we both know. Thanks. Thank you, buddy. Okay, phone call sign phonetically twice, please. Maybe now will be the last call. Come with your phone sign phonetically twice, please.
November 4, Oscar Alpha Golf. November 4, Oscar Alpha Golf. Mike in Coral Springs, Florida. Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Lima Yankee. Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Lima Yankee, Andy in Gainesville, Florida.
W9JAY, 69 Juliet Alpha Yankee.
All right, thanks, guys. You put us over 49. We have N4 OAG, Mike in Coral Springs, Florida. We have KO4 MLY, Andy in Gainesville, Florida, and Jay in Philly, Texas, W9JAY. Okay, Mike, to the trivia net, and for OAG, would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Oh, definitely talk to the animals. They wouldn't be as smart aleck as some of the humans I've heard.
Yeah, the sarcasm would probably be lacking. Well, maybe not hyena, but yeah, no, probably not. Okay, your question is, there's enough of this at the Earth's core to cover the entire planet with a 13-inch layer of it. A, iron. B, gold. C, oil. What do you think, Mike? That's a tough one.
That is tough. Water was one of the choices, but iron is my choice.
Sorry, Mike, missed the answer. What was it again?
Iron, Fe.
Oh, sorry, it's AU, gold, yeah. It lies 1,800 miles beneath the Earth's surface, but there's enough of it to cover the entire planet with a 13-inch layer of it. Obviously, it's too deep to dig, or it would have been got out by now. Thanks. Thank you, Michael. Dear next Saturday. Andy in Gainesville, KO4 MLY. Andy, you better be able to talk to animals or speak every human language.
My choice is to speak to the animals. I think I can learn a lot more from them.
Well, the monks in Thailand. Well, I'll get off the subject. Your question is, for a time in ancient Egypt, this was more valuable than gold. A, iron. B, deer. Or C, pyramid scheme.
Excuse me, what was C again? I didn't hear.
Oh, the answers are iron, beer, or pyramid schemes.
Iron.
Yep, darn straight. They didn't know how to mine iron yet. All they were getting was from meteorites they would find on the ground. And so they considered it very, very valuable since they had no technology for smelting irons. They had to get it from the, unfortunately, rare meteorites. You got it, buddy. Thanks. Checking in. Jay in Sealy, Texas, of course, W9JY. How you doing, Jay? Okay, would you rather talk to the animals or speak every human language fluently?
Well, hey, I like you talking to me. Well, let me see here. I talk to all my animals all the time, so I already do that. I don't know if they understand me, but I talk to them. So I guess it would be the latter, being able to speak all of those languages. Go ahead.
Okay, James, speaking of animals, which of these actors were paid the most money per week for their work in the classic 1939 film Wizard of Oz? Yeah, I know I've done this before. I like this question, though. Who made the most money? A, the monkeys, B, the Munchkins, or C, Toto?
I'm going to say Toto. Why not? W9JY.
Of course it was Toto. Yeah, the Munchkins were paid $50 a week, which wasn't a bad wage at the time, but Toto trainer, they earned $120 a week. Now, the stuntman actors who played the flying monkeys were paid $25 a day, but they didn't work a full week. The leader went on strike demanding dollars per stunt. The dispute was eventually resolved, and the world was left with a clever saying for a situation that no one thinks has a chance of occurring. For example, I'm sure the East Coast Reflector will eventually pay. Yeah, right, and monkeys might fly out of our radios. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you being there, buddy. Okay, full call sign phonetically. I know I said that a few times. Full sign, call sign phonetically twice, please. Come now. Full sign phonetically twice, please, and we'll get you a question.
Judy, KN6 Judy.
The KN6 station just checked. What was your call sign again? I lost a little bit. Was it GOD? Was that Michael, KN6 GOD in San Jose? I think it was. We have you, Michael. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently?
Animals. They seem to be wiser than us humans.
I gotcha. Okay, your question is, our week has 7 days in it, thanks to this ancient civilization. Who's responsible for our week having 7 days? A, the Egyptians. B, the Babylonians. C, the Septuplians.
Yeah. Alpha, Egyptians.
Yeah, I think this is even before my history class. It's the Babylonians. The Babylonians came up with the 7-day week. The Egyptians had 10 days, but because the Babylonians were so powerful for so long, their calendar was eventually adopted by other civilizations. The Babylonian week was based on the 5 visible planets plus the sun and moon, hence Monday, Tuesday, or Mars Day, and Wednesday, etc. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. All right. Okay, let's see how we did tonight. Well, it looks like we had 42 or 43 check-ins. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to go back and check everything out. And of those who checked in, 25 people got their questions correct, and 19 people missed their questions. That's 64% to 36%. Not bad. And I know the one you're all waiting for, the question of the night: would you rather be able to would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or speak every human language fluently? Yeah, most people pick the animals. Yeah, 23 people to 16 people, or 59% to 41%. That was closer. Let's put them. I'd like to thank everybody who participated tonight, with special thanks to Vicky, K8 VKY, for logging in. We now return control of the East Coast Reflector back to you until next week at the same time, and the control voice will take you to the Saturday Night Trivia. 7-3. The roses bloom upon your cross. Tell me 7 FCM clear.